Good evening, one and all. Welcome back to Huddersfield Town Fan TV. For this live show this evening, we are going to be discussing, the reflection of the season. You know what I mean? We'll go into the retain list as well, the squad retain list as well. The future as well. Just dip into everything really tonight. So yeah, getting involved in the chat. We're all glad this season is officially over now. Let's put it that way. We're all relieved. And yeah, a massive summer ahead, as we've already alluded to. And going to be interesting to see what actually happens. But big up to you all that are tuning in right now. Drop a like, subscribe, and share the channel around. And I'd love to hear your thoughts throughout this show as well. But first, let's get into the comments before we do get the show on the road. Michael says, Nagel put out a statement saying he will eradicate the disease of mid-season form and blames leadership and culture. He'll be trying to put things right. Yeah, look, we're going to get into that, but I'm at this stage now where I'm not interested in what statements he puts out now. It goes over made now as far as I'm concerned. I want to see action, and action speaks louder than words. And that's all I care about. So yeah, you can keep putting these statements out and saying he's going to do this and that and all this. We know where the problems lie. You just need to fix it. You need to fix the mess that you have created yourself. So yeah, look, I thought when I saw that statement, I thought I just can't be bothered with this anymore. I've heard too many words, very little action, and that's why I just switch off. Let's see the action, please, now. That's all I'm going to say. Wayne says, hi, hope you're well. Like and subscribe. Big up to you, Wayne. How are you doing on this Monday evening? Yes. Doesn't feel like Monday, does it? It's strange. But, yeah, Monday evening. I hope you're well, Wayne. And good to see you in the chat as well. Aiden's in. Hello, mate. Hope you're okay. Big up to Aiden. Good to see you as well, mate. My wonderful mod. Of course. We had a right good rant, didn't we, after the game on Saturday? And yeah, I was in the most rubbish mood. We're going to get into it, guys, but yeah, I just felt on a ranty mood on Saturday evening, to be fair. And yeah, me and Aidan, we were speaking, and yeah, I just probably really ranty, so I apologise for that, mate, but just sick and tired of being let down by this football club. That is what it's about. He also says, make sure you smash likes if you're not subscribe if you're new. Yeah, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Big up to everyone that's subscribed. There's quite a few subscribers recently that have just subscribed as well. So yeah, I appreciate you all, and yeah, I appreciate everybody checking out the videos and liking and stuff like that as well. So yeah, we're gonna keep the consistency coming. It's time to celebrate the season is finished. Yeah, it does feel like a bit of a we're just really happy to see. We can celebrate the season finish. Yeah, you're right, and I do agree. But celebration, I just feel like I'm just on a downer at the moment. To be fair, to celebrate, I'm just but we just feel relieved up with the season finish now. To be fair, it's finally finished. Michael says, hi, Ryan, hope you're okay. Good evening, Michael. Hope you're well. And Jack says, hi, mate, show the players door. Don't know what you mean by that, Jack, but hello there. But yes, we're going to get into it then, guys. Like I said, do get involved in the chat as we go along in this live show. So big up to you all. But yeah, we're going to start with a season reflection because, look, to be honest with you, by the way, I'm not even going to speak about Saturday because, which was our 20th defeat of the season, guys. Yes, that's right. And of course, all the goals conceded, gift wrapped to the opponents. that is what we do around these ways, and it was not a shambles. And to be fair, all I'll say is pretty much that performance pretty much sums up the season and the sorry state we are in right now. I think for me, as I've already alluded to, after the game on Saturday, I just felt really full of anger and frustration, because it kind of hit me again in terms of how the season's panned out, if that makes sense, and the dismal summer that we had last year as well, which just the way things have panned out from last summer all the way through the season, it's just been utter chaos, hasn't it? And like I said, a lot of us did say towards the end, weeks and weeks in advance, we just feel numb to it all now, and we couldn't care less. And I felt like that for weeks as well, as the season was fizzling out the way it did. But I just think after the game, that kind of dark cloud seemed to come over me and, just put me in one of these worst moods, because it kind of almost hit me. When you're going through the season, it's bad, but then when you get to the end of the season, it's actually done, completely done. It's done for the summer. It's done for the season. Sorry. It just kind of hits you even more how bad this season's actually been, if that makes sense. And what I mean? The fact we are even in this position where we're feeling like this is an utter disgrace. And the fact that we finished the season in 10th in a poor league, let's not forget. And in the end, we've actually come 14 points off a playoff spot, which was the bare minimum going into this season. So I'm sorry. It is actually embarrassing. And for me, we look at automatic places. Second place, there was no reason why we could be fighting it out with Wrexham for that second place had we have got the things off the field right. And unfortunately, we couldn't even get near the playoffs, let alone try and get automatic, which is no surprise to me whatsoever. And I think it just shows the unacceptable nature of how this season has unravelled. It just shows the failure and incompetence of from the people above, and every single person in that board, even if they've left. I mean, I'm talking about. Even if they've left, they should be ashamed and embarrassed to even pick up a wage at this football club. Because I tell you right now, you don't deserve a penny from this club for how bad how bad and how much damage you've caused this club. And to those players as well who have continuously let this club down, shame on you all as well, because a lot of those players do not represent what we're about, and they're nothing short of unprofessional, spoilt brats who don't deserve to be footballers at all, because they're a disgrace to their profession. And that's what I'm going to say. Whether you want to call me dramatic or what, I don't care. The reality is those players are the most dislikable bunch that I've ever known at Huddersfield Town Football Club. And they can all get stuffed as far as I'm concerned, because, like I said, they are a disgrace. But let's get to the comment first, because look, I just need to calm down a bit. I don't want to go on a ranty stream against it. I know it's not nice watching rants and stuff, but just sometimes just emotions get the better of me, guys. I'm not going to lie to you, and I don't want to sit here and constantly rant. Because obviously that's not really good, nice listening, isn't it? But things just need to be said, guys. Top half finish, Adam says. I think what Jack means is show the players the door, like the exit door. So basically, yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I get you now. The most unlikable team I can remember. Yes. Glad they clear out stat today. Still loads of deadwood to try and clear though. Yeah, you're spot on, mate. I just literally said that, didn't I? I said the most dislikable bunch ever, but you put it, yeah, and that's it. You put it in another way, but we were exactly on the same page. And yes, we're going to get into the squad return list today. Was announced today as well, later on in the show. So stay tuned for that. But yes, lots of work still to be done. But I also thought it was quite revealing how we had a player come out after the game on Saturday, who's only been here since January, by the way, it's only a couple of months, in Joe Taylor, who came out after the game and he's saying stuff like, we've not had any structure or philosophy to buy into. That pretty much sums up this circus of the club right now, doesn't it? How on earth can you actually expect success and actually, go places without a proper structure or a philosophy to buy into? So when you've got a player that said that, and he's only been through the door a few months, that is extremely concerning in my eyes. The question is why there hasn't been a structure built over the last 2 years since Nagel came through the door. Why is that not? Where is it? There should be something to see at this point in terms of structure, and there isn't. And the philosophy should have been set in stone from the off as well, surely. So, but look, Joe Taylor, for me, a lot of people have had opinions about Joe Taylor since he's come through the door. And look, I don't think we've played to his strengths, just to defend him a little bit. But, and I'll say but, I think he's been extremely poor since he's come through the door as well. I think that when he has had the ball to his feet, too many heavy touches, and then ended up just throwing a tackle in and fouling the opponents because he's let the ball get away from too easily. I think he hasn't done anything in terms of, when he has had those glimmers of chances that he's had, he's just kind of squandered at them. Doesn't look fit. Clearly needs to, work on that and come back early in pre-season to sort his fitness out and I know he's not played a lot of football when he came to us, and know that. Then he got injured as well, as we know, with us as well. So, but yeah, he needs to work on his physique. He needs to work on his fitness, because for me, it's just not acceptable. You paid £3 million for this player, and of course, he hasn't offered anything at all. But not many of this squad have they really? So we can't really sit here and say that we can't really just sit here and say Taylor. We can say that he's been poor, but I think everybody else as well in that changing room haven't covered them some glory, and they've been here all season. Now, look, what I will say as well on Saturday as well, you look at the pictures that people put on social media about, how completely empty the stadium was 10 minutes before kickoff, and then fans just streaming out 10 minutes before the end as well, not even staying for this lap of honour that these players didn't deserve, by the way. So I think it was an absolute ludicrous decision to actually even have that. They should have let Hoggy take to the field on his own, and that was that. But no, they had to do it in an absolute ridiculous way. And yes, the players had a lap of honour for failure. And look, I think it did everyone a favour on Saturday as well. The fact that Hogg came off early, because everyone could give him a standing ovation, and a lot of people then left before the whistle went, which, look, don't blame them at all. If you look at the atmosphere at the end as well, I saw the video that somebody posted on social media, and so toxic, wasn't it? Chance of you're not fit to wear the shirt and booing. You always have the clowns stood there clap. You always have the same clowns that stand there and clap, no matter how bad it gets, of course. And of course, you see those fans that clap the team off after performing so badly are part of the problem at this football club, and they're the fans that are too busy playing happy families with the owner, because apparently getting an invite to the afternoon tea events that the chairman puts on when he's over here is more important than having a successful football club for priorities and all that, So yes, those fans that stood there and clapped in that video that I saw that somebody posted, I just had to shake my head, guys, and think, what planet are you on? What are you actually clapping? Do you realise these players do not give a stuff about this football club? and you stood there clapping, does that make you more of a fan than everybody else that doesn't clap? Mediocrity and poor performances. Does that make you more of a fan or something? Because I'm not really getting it. But yes, that is what I'm going to say. But yes, the toxic nature, every single member of that squad, barring Marshall, and obviously Hogg, obviously his last games he deserved, obviously for his service he's given it as well. But the rest, they didn't deserve anything. So those people clapping, I think it's quite embarrassing, to be honest with you. Just like this ownership is embarrassing right now. Let's get into the comments. I'll tell you what made me laugh on Saturday. Leighton Orient fourth goal. Herbie Kane went to try and tackle, and the player completely missed it. It was like playing FIFA and missing a tackle. Yeah, I know. I just look and just think to myself, every goal that was conceded on Saturday was the epitome of what we've seen all season. Gifts of goals to teams. Handed on a player. Go on, win the game. Don't worry. We're just here to make up the numbers. We don't care about what happens on that pitch. And I'm talking about from the players' perspective. Clearly, their attitudes were nowhere near the pitch. They're just happy to pick up a wage every week. That's all they care about. But yeah, it's honestly laughable, isn't it, mate? And then the cyber leader, WHUFC, a West Ham fan in. Good evening. This West Ham fan here. Was Callum Marshall good at yours? Yes, look, mate, honestly, we loved having Callum Marshall at this football club. I think I speak for everybody when I say that. He has been a joy to see on that pitch, gives his all, scored. He finished with 9 goals, didn't he? And a couple of assists. And it really showed. And to be honest with you, the fact that he was relatively inexperienced, in senior football when he came in, he was a player that I really enjoyed watching. The only positive this season is seeing Marshall, getting stuck in, scoring some goals, giving it all. In fact, he actually was named our player of the season, which speaks volumes when you've got a lone player who was the player of the season, guys. He led the way, and the rest of this squad just didn't back him up. And of course, he did what he could do. So yes, no, look, he was brilliant for us. And yeah, look, you've got a good player on your hands. I think potentially whatever you may want to do with him, you may want to kind of maybe loan him out to a championship club next. Look, we'd love to have him back here, but obviously he's proven that he can do it at this level, obviously 9 goals in a team that don't really help him out. 9 goals and a couple of assists. I think that's pretty good numbers, to be honest with you. He's been a regular for us as well. So it's a shame that he got sent off the other game, which obviously meant that he missed the remaining games, because he's the only player that I enjoy watching on that field to play for us at the moment. So yeah, all the best to him. But Potter might give him a loan to you again. You think you might loan him back to us again? Look, we'd certainly take it, wouldn't we? I think every Town fan wouldn't not take him back next season because of what he's done this season for us. Because I do think that in what we hope to be a better squad next season, a more hard-working squad, not players that are just clearly don't give a stuff, I think he could get some even better numbers. But I just think maybe for his development, he may want to look at a championship loan, which is ultimately where we wanted to be now. But like I said, the off the field mess has not allowed us to even compete to get promotion. So yes, I hope that answers your question. Kroma's awful back pass and Chapman's flat mistake. Yeah. Koroma, what on earth was he thinking doing that? And look, Chapman, look, we've kind of said it on this channel, haven't we, how Chapman shouldn't have been dropped and this and that. You know what I mean? For me, and I'll say it now, from what I've seen in the games that we've seen him since Nichols has come out of the team, I think Chapman is not a number 1 either. So it's clear to me that we need a new goalkeeper. guys, that is going to be number one, because Chapman isn't it, and neither's Nichols. So yes, that is my opinion. So yes, the season reflection is as far as it goes, really. I think it's been a demoralising season, and like I said to you guys in the like in the description, I said, look, I think we've all kept ourselves going, haven't we, this season? You know, obviously you've certainly kept me going, coming on here and doing the streams, because it's been so difficult to come on here and say the same stuff over and over again, and just not have any joy this season at all. It's been terrible. But you guys in the chat, you know, coming in and sharing your thoughts, you've kept me going, but we've kept each other going, haven't we, I guess, in this horrible season, so reflection, utter shambles, nowhere near good enough, just a waste of a season, no positives apart from Marshall doing well for us, and yes, just utter carnage on and off the field with the decisions, and that simply can't continue. So we're glad to see the back of this season. We shouldn't be saying that, though. We shouldn't be saying that again, and that's what really infuriates me and really frustrates me, because why are we consistently let down season in, season out, but yet we have to pay the price for the amount of money that's being wasted at this football club, with higher season tickets and things like that? Why should we as fans pay the price for that, for their incompetence? We shouldn't have to pay for it. We shouldn't have to pay, you know, because they've wasted. We shouldn't have to get the money back that they've wasted through extra revenue on season tickets. The reality is, though, they're not going to get that extra revenue in season tickets. I'm going to tell you right now, no, that stadium will be empty next season unless action is taken over the next week or so. I'm telling you now, people will not part way with their hard-earned money if they don't see anything positive to get behind in the coming weeks in terms of actions. You know, and that's it. That stadium will be empty, and the reality is a lot of fans have been priced out of going anywhere because the prices are just too expensive, and you cannot justify an increase. And I think a lot of people are just sticking to their principles because, again, we've been lied to from the people above, and people aren't going to take that. Why should we be lied to about a gradual increase on season ticket price? I know I'm going over all ground here, but it's relevant. Why should we be lied about? Why should we be lied to about that, and then see the level of increases that they put on the season tickets for next season? We shouldn't have to accept that, and nor will we accept it. So yes, good luck selling the season tickets, but it doesn't look great right now. Marcus has said there was 20,000 site. It looked like 10,000. Look, Michael, it's all ridiculous, isn't it? There was nowhere near 20,000 there on Saturday. And the reality is apparently this is what I get told, every club does it. Every club includes the season ticket holders in the attendance, apparently. So that justifies, you know, them saying that the attendance is 20,000 when it clearly isn't. I don't know. Ask the experts. For me, yeah, I agree. They didn't look they looked around 10,000, maybe even less there on Saturday. So that gaslighting of Hogg's last game didn't really work, did it, from the people above? Because the reality is, everybody, even if you weren't there on Saturday, really appreciate the service that Hogg's been given. But I think a lot of people have checked out weeks ago, and they just haven't had the motivation to go, to be honest with you. And I think that's the reality. And Hogg, look, there's still a question mark if it is going to be his last season, because like I said the other day in that press conference, it didn't look like a decision had been made final, but yet the club thought it would be a good idea to say this label it to try and sell tickets as this is Hogg's last game. It didn't work, of course, but it didn't work because the stadium was that empty. But so yeah, that's it. that's it. But yeah, certainly not 20,000 there anyway. 8K season tickets, top 16K this season. Yeah. So they lost a lot of fans. They've lost a lot of fans since they've come through the door. The owner has lost a lot of fans in the time he's been here. But big up to everyone that's tuning in right now and getting your thoughts in. Drop a like if you can and subscribe. Like I said, on the road to 1K subscribers will be a dream to get there. That has always been my dream target. And yes, we appreciate every support and everything. You guys' support recently has been amazing. To be fair, I'm glad. To be honest with you, I'm going off on the tangent. We are going to get back to the topic in a minute, but I kind of feel like I find it hard to believe that people want to listen to what I have to say, and people that come and tune in every week and things like that. I don't know. I just think it's just really just makes me feel good about myself. That people do like to come on, and engage and support the show, support the channel. Sorry. So yeah, honestly, I appreciate you all. I'm not going next season if it's too much money. Well, Ross, the tickets. The thing is as well, though, Ross. I agree. That obviously the season ticket prices have been announced, but I still stick by what I said a few weeks back when the prices were announced, and he did make those adjustments, but he still kept the adult prices the same. I still stand by the fact that he should be lowering those ticket prices, season ticket prices. There's no justification to increase the prices to the length that he has just to cover their own incompetence, the amount of money that's been wasted. So, no, the fans shouldn't pay for that. So he should lower the prices, but it doesn't look like he's going to, and he's going to see an empty-looking stadium next season because a lot of people have been priced out. If the actions do come, then a few people will probably renew, but still don't think it'll be anywhere near full or anywhere near to the levels that we've seen, when it has been full. It hasn't been full for ages, but I mean, when we saw it always, the home support was always there. It was pretty full once upon a time. Now it's just going to be empty because that is it. But yeah. But look, that is my season reflection. I'm not going to go overboard with anything else. I've just been extremely disappointed and frustrated and just annoyed with the way this season's panned out. Just not acceptable. Just not good enough. And we've paid for the incompetence from the people above once again. So yeah. I want to look to the future now and the uncertainty of this future that we have. Because look, anybody will tell you we have an uncertain future ahead of us. For me, and I've said it all along, I can't take Nagel and co seriously. Like I said, we've lost 20 games this season, let me remind you. 20. We lost more than we've won in League One. With our supposed championship squad, let's not forget about that. Our supposed championship squad that our owner seemed to come out and say foolishly enough. And it's just been enough to shambles this. And it will take more than words from the owner, with most of us, to actually buy our season tickets. But also, it'll take more than words to turn this mess that's been created around. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, I don't trust or have faith in them to get the right decisions this summer, right, to move the club forward positively. And why should me, or you for that matter, after the last 2 years of complete mismanagement and incompetence from the people above? So yes, I don't have any faith until I see actions. That trust is earned, you see, guys. It's not just given. Trust is earned. This owner has took this club backwards, and he hasn't gained the trust of this fan base because of how this has all panned out. So he's got to earn the trust of this supporter base, and that comes with actions, not saying meaningless words that he loves to come out with, all PR, ego, words that he posts on social media. Not interested anymore, I'm afraid, and he don't buy with a lot of us out there that are Town fans. We're not falling for your lies and games anymore. Start doing the actions, and then maybe we'll start having that trust back if we see more actions than action. Because I'd rather see more actions than words, guys. Look, by all means, communicate with the supporter base. I like that, but I think that there is a line that has to be drawn. Like when it's too full on communication, I just think it's just a bit like, no, we don't need to be overboard, if that makes sense. We like communication with the ownership, but the problem is when you don't believe a word that he says or the things that he's coming out with. I don't know if I do like that communication, to be honest with you. I'd just rather be told the truth. I'd rather be not lied to. I'd rather have an owner that is more transparent rather than just saying words left, right, and centre and nothing ever being delivered. That's just the way I see it. So yeah, look, the time is now for actions, and that is it. That's all I'm going to say. Many Town fans, including myself, have not renewed yet, are still delaying on the decision on whether to renew or not until we see an actual plan and positive actions taken in the coming weeks being made. Because I'm afraid why should fans have to part their hard-earned money to see the same shambles over again next season? Because I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Doesn't make us any less fans for it. It just means that we're past our breaking point now. We're past it, and we're sick and tired of the same old disappointment every season. Because look, football is an emotional roller coaster, isn't it? You have the highs and you do have the lows as well. I accept that. But the problem I've got here is when you've got the majority of majority of everything is all lows. It's all lows. There's no highs with us at the moment, is there? There hasn't been for ages. It's all lows. So that is where the problem lies. And we understand that football is highs and lows, but at the moment it's just all lows. And fans have had enough, and that's it. And Aidan says, I don't trust Nagel to get it right this summer, but let's face it, this is the biggest summer we have ever had. If not, I think relegation to League Two is on the horizon. Yeah, look, you're absolutely spot on, mate. Like, a lot of fans, a lot of Town fans, I see you all out there saying you don't trust the owner. And we get abused for it on social media because apparently you can't criticise his owner because he saved the club. But so no matter whether we go down to League Two or, we get any relegation and we'll end up in the National League, like I said on my one post the other day, end up in the National League, don't worry. Kevin Nagel saved our football club, so don't worry about that. That is the lunacy of some of this fan base who continue to sit there and defend this owner's actions, who has literally destroyed the very foundations of this football club. Like it or lump it. That is what has happened. I am not going to sit here and defend an owner that has done what he's done to this club. I'm just not going to do it, because that would be just against what I believe in. I support Huddersfield Town Football Club. We were here before Kevin Nagel. I don't support the owner. I support Huddersfield Town Football Club. And that is it. So all this emotional attachment that some fans love to have with the owner, just to get that little invite to the afternoon tea party that, so they can play happy families with one another in there. Of course, it's the same people that rock up, get those invites, of course. Not the people that want to kind of speak out about the wrongs of what's gone wrong in the last 2 years. But those that just love to bring their fake positivity and all the, all the happy stuff that people can say about the owner that are all made up, because I don't see anything positive about this ownership. Since he's come in, it's been utter chaos. This club has been taken. When Kevin Nagel came in, I didn't think it could get any worse than what it was at that point. But it has. It has got worse. And we now find ourselves in League One. and struggling to even be competitive in this league as well, may I add, and on the downward spiral. And that is down to his leadership and he is overseeing all this. So yes, I think some of those fans need to get their priorities right and actually think, you know what? No, I'm not going to keep standing by this owner who keeps making bad decision after bad decision. I'm going to stand with the football club and speak for, you know what I mean? I'm going to speak in terms of. I've lost my track of it. I'm going to speak for the best interest of the football club, not this emotional attachment with the owner that people love to get after. And then, of course, if you say anything like any criticism, then you're the enemy. Apparently, we're the problem. But you've got fans standing on the terraces, clapping players off that couldn't care less and disgrace the shirt all season. Make it make sense, people. Make it make sense. Sorry, guys, I'm going on a rant again, but I'm just absolutely sick and tired of it. You know, I'm just sick and tired of it. You know, again, post what I said over the weekend, get loads of abuse for it because people can't handle the truth. And yes, just have to laugh at what people say on social media at times. And just the horrible nature of people's comments as well. You know what I mean? You know, everybody has a right to an opinion. Anyway, I'm diverting. I'm going to get on with it. I'm going to keep going on with what I've got planned saying. Let's have a look. So, yes. Look, Nagel has got a huge task on his hands this summer. And, you know, like I said, we need a director of football, which I expect to be announced this week, by the way. The director of football needs to be in this door this week. There's no excuses. People are saying that now the return list has been announced. Maybe that director of football is in the door already, but it's just not been announced yet. We can only hope that. But that director of football needs to be in this week. I'm telling you now. And then we need to get a manager in early doors. Look, I think we need so many players, guys. You know, there's so many players to sign. You know, we need, I'd say 8 or 9 players that we need to sign. 6 to 7 injury-prone players to let go. If we can get them out the door, then I just don't know how we're going to manage it. But create a bond, winning mentality with players, staff, and just get fans back on board. You know, that's what needs to happen this summer. And ultimately, it's a rebuilding. It's just about rebuilding the club after 2 years of huge underperformance and poor leadership. That is what is going to need to happen. So yes, and yes, I know what you were saying, Aidan, don't worry. But look, I think that is what I'm going to say on that, really. I don't want to keep going on to you. Look, I've said on many of my videos, you know my opinion and my stance on the owner. You know my opinion on, you know, what needs to happen going forward. And I think most people that do watch me and do come in the chat are on the same page as me and they think the same. So, yeah, we know what needs to be done. We just need to see the action now. And as I said, we do expect, well, I don't think you can expect with this ownership because we've been let down for the past 2 seasons. But like Aidan already said, if we don't get it right this summer, then League Two next season is a real a relegation to League Two is a real possibility. Make no question about that. No sugarcoating this. Things have to happen this summer, and that's it. So yes, that is my thoughts. But look, guys, we do know that the squad return list was announced today, wasn't it? I'm sure we've all seen it, but we are going to run through that now. So yeah, the club announced the return list with only one out of contract player still in talks over a new deal. It's like music to my ears, this. And that is one of our youngsters, Neo Eccleston, who I think has actually looked really good in the last couple of games that he's played. I thought on Saturday, I thought he was the only one who actually looked like he cared. You know what I mean? Getting his tackles in, showing that real determination, heart, and passion. I saw it on the pitch, the drive as well. And yeah, look, obviously a former Chelsea academy player, he's a fullback. Eccleston obviously started the last couple of games. So yeah, look, I wouldn't be against him signing, getting a new contract, because he has got one of those players that's got a bright future. And yeah, no, I want to see more players like that on that pitch that do show that they care and they put everything into it. And you know what I mean? Yeah, so he certainly can stay for me. But look, the club obviously had already announced that goalkeeper Chris Maxwell has retired. While obviously captain Jonathan Hogg has not been offered a new contract in it, and he's set to depart at the end of June. Now, a further 9 players with first team experience have now been confirmed to be set for the release. Yes, guys, yes. This is what we need to get these unprofessional idiots out of this football club. Not mention the youngsters, to be fair, because you know what? If you're not good enough, you're not good enough. And I feel like I'm getting it's kind of dark in here, but you can still kind of see me, guys. But I do need to sort out the lighting in this room, honestly. Like, I do have lights, but then it just reflects onto the camera and it just doesn't look right on screen. So that's kind of why I've only got one light on at the moment. But anyways, so yes, 9 players out of the door. Lloyd Kaina, Connor Falls, Scott High, Josh Karoma, Tom Lees, Matty Pearson, Josh Ruffles, Ollie Turton, and Danny Ward. Which, look, again, I said to you before this has been announced, couldn't care less. None of those players should be offered contracts. And obviously, I did forget that Eccleston was running out of contracts, so I do give an exception to him. But yeah, the rest, I was happy to see go. So, look, this is music to my ears. Glad that Danny Ward is finally off the books. One of the most highest, well, he was one of the highest earners, apparently, from what I've heard. So he's off the books now, thank goodness for that. Matty Pearson, who has been nothing short of a disgrace and unprofessional throughout the season, as we already know. Tom Lee's clearly not good enough. He's past it now, full of injuries and not good enough. And Karoma's time has come to an end, guys. I said it before. Josh Karoma, this is the right time for him to move on now, as far as I'm concerned. And yeah, so for me, no, not really that upset about that at all either. Josh Ruffles just isn't good enough. Ollie Turton, look, does an okay job for you, but is he really going to take us places? Not really. He has been a bit poor this season as well. I think he does give his all. I do think he does try, but I just don't think he's good enough. And like I say, likes of Aina, who obviously mostly played in the B team and come through the academy. Connor Falls, look, Scott High. I'm glad Scott High has gone as well, because Scott High clearly was nowhere near the level. Not even at this level, guys. He's not good enough for this level, let alone championship where we were before. So yeah, obviously the loan players have gone back. Chirawa, Lomvik, and Hodge will all return to Wolves. And then obviously our player of the season, Callum Marshall, will go back to West Ham. So yeah, not counting Eccleston, by the way, that leaves us with just 18 senior players under contract for the new season, for next season, sorry, should I say. As it stands, among that number are the likes of Sorba Thomas, who for me needs to be shown the door, needs to be sold if he can. He did get interest during his time when he was at Nantes in France. So hopefully the interest is there this summer for. I think Hull's interest wasn't there in him, but they couldn't break the clause with the French club, and that's why he ended up staying there. That's what I believe to have happened. So for me, Thomas is no future at this club. We're at this point again now, guys, where there'll be fans that say, oh, let's give Thomas another chance. Don't worry about it, guys. Let's give him another chance. He deserves it. No sentimental rubbish. He has shown what he is. He thinks he's bigger than the club. He wouldn't even play for us in the Championship. No way he's playing for us in League One. Let's cash in on him. Let's get some money for him, and let's just part ways, because that is for the best of the football club. No, there's no future for it, and I don't want to see him back at the club in next season, start next season in the squad. No way. He's a disruptor of the dressing room, clearly, and he thinks he's better than he is. Just not worth it. Don't want players like that around. Also, the likes of Bojan Radulovic, who, again, just makes me so annoyed that we ended up signing this guy, and look how bad he is, guys. He just doesn't offer anything. Nowhere near good enough for League One, let alone the Championship when he came in. So, yeah, those two players were out they've been on loan, haven't they? So, but, yeah, look, for me, if we can try and get some, even if we're not going to get £1 million for Radulovic, but if we can even just get a little bit of money back, just get him off the wage bill, guys, you know what I mean? That's where I see it at the moment. So, yeah, it's been a good start to see that there's not been many contracts offered, and rightly so. But we still have a lot of the dross and the dead wood on the books at the moment. That's the problem. Hopefully we can ship a few of them out. And to be honest with you, do I have faith in the recruitment this summer? No. So I'm worried that the new faces that we bring in will be worse than the rubbish we've released. So let's wait and see how we actually approach that as well, guys. Because, as I said, there's no faith or confidence in anything right now because of what we've seen over the past 2 years. But look, this is just a starting point with the retain list. It is a step forward, but maybe difficult to move on some of the other rubbish that we've got. But let's try at least. So yes, just the confidence that I have of the order, just don't have it at the moment. We'll get to your comments in a moment, guys. Academy players are released as well. Some academy players: Zach Abbott, Philip Deroux, Donald Garrick, Anthony Gregory, Danny Isaac, Kian Philpott, Oliver Reaver, and Michael Stone are set for release in the academy. So yes, let's have a look what people are saying though before we do confirm the full list that we have as it stands right now. Chrome must be devastated not to win a contract. Oh, what a shame. Yeah, look, tried his best, didn't he, by putting in some performances towards the end of the season and coming up with goals all of a sudden. But unfortunately, time has run out for him at this club. And yes, good to see the back of him and many others that are left. You know I'm on about here. Pearson, Lees, Ward, good riddance. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about those. And Aidan is agreeing with me. They won't be missed. Completely agree with your retainers, Blue Terry says. Definitely expect more departures over. So yeah, look, we need more departures, Blue Terry. That's the reality. But it's just whether we can get them off the books. That is the worry at the moment, because they're not exactly put themselves in the shop window, have they? This lot with their performances. To be fair, the loan players, you know, Thomas has done, from what I know, from what I've kind of seen or heard, he's done fairly well at his loan. Radulovic, I don't think he's done that great on his loan, to be fair. I think he got injured as soon as he... it didn't take him long to get injured. I can't remember where Radulovic went now, but I can't remember which club he went to, but yeah, clearly just not there, is he, at all? But big up to everyone that is in the building right now. Drop a like, subscribe, and share the channel around. I would appreciate it very, very much. And keep those comments coming as well. But look, the return list in full then, guys. So the released Lloyd Kaina, Connor Falls, High, Hogg, Karoma, Lees, Pearson, Ruffles, Turton, Ward, Abbott, Deroux, Garrick, Gregory, Isaac, Philpott, Reaver, and Stone. Retired Chris Maxwell. Neil Eccleston is in discussions over a new contract. Returning to the parent club, all the loans, Chirwa, Hodge, Longvike and Marshall. Now under contract players for the next season are as follows: Radinho Balka, Jacob Chapman, Dion Charles, Anthony Evans, Reece Healer, which I wish he was on our contract players list as well, because what a waste of space he is. Tom Yorpender, who I think, look, he needs to try and keep himself fit this summer and then push on next season. But I do like Yorpender. He has got something about him, but he does obviously need to work on a few things well. He's not the complete article at his age, of course he isn't, but I just think he needs to maybe push on a little bit in the summer, work hard in the summer. I'm sure he will do. And yeah, I think I'd like to see him around the first team next season for sure. And yeah, hopefully he's pushing to start. Herbie Kane, David Kasumu, Freddie Ladapo, another one that I wish was on our contract list. Unbelievable that he's got another year left. Miller, who, again, let's hope he can stay injury-free, but again, you just never know with Miller here. Nichols, for me, somebody that I do think we need to try and sell. Radulovic, Ruskin, Sorensen, Spencer, Taylor, Thomas, and Wiles. To be fair, guys, I'm probably going to do a video about who I'd sell from the current group and stuff like that. That's probably an idea, isn't it, for a video coming up? Because I think it's pretty much straightforward for me in terms of players I get rid of, players I keep. So yeah, that's the retain list in full. Let me know your thoughts down below, what you make of it all. But yes, interesting. We wait to see what happens with potential players going out that are under contracts, if we can get rid of some of them. And we wait to see the recruitment of how good the recruitment is signing players. Because like I said, we do need a lot of work in this squad, don't we? And we need a lot of players through the door. I'd say I think we need 8 or 9 players, to be honest with you. I'm going to be real, and I'm including loans in that, by the way, guys. You know what I mean? I don't expect to sign 7 or 8 players, of course, but I do think a couple of loans in there, you know what I mean, and some players permanently as well will do me just fine. But yes, I think we've kind of come to the end of the show, really, guys. I have said a lot this evening. Anybody with any final thoughts, feel free to get them in the chat. But yeah, I just think it's just good to be able to get this season just put to the back of, well, not to put to the back of minds, because we won't forget this season just gone. But I mean, just kind of put it to bed a little bit now. We've kind of reflected on it, and yeah, we look ahead to the summer now, where a lot of things need to change and a lot of actions need to be taken, and a lot of good decisions need to be made. Good decisions in Huddersfield Town haven't been something that has happened. Well, it's not something something that has rarely happened. Good decisions at this club, as we know. But and as the title says, I've kind of felt, well, for quite a number of weeks, really, to be honest with you, maybe longer. But I just feel with this owner, I already believe that we are going to be going places with this owner in charge, and that's just the way I see it. I see what I've seen over the past 2 years, and I just think to myself, if he hasn't learned from year 1 to year 2, then what makes us think that he's going to change this summer? Do you know what I mean? And what makes us all believe that he's going to change? I just don't think he is. I think he has got too much of it. He has got too much of a big of an ego. I don't see him changing his ways. I'd love to be proven wrong, but I just don't like what I've seen of this. Look, I get that people make mistakes. I get that. But I think if you don't if you don't learn from your lessons and you're continuing to do the same thing over and over again, and you're shutting down fans that have genuine concerns, and you know what I mean, and behaving like he has been on social media and things like that, I think it just feels like it's not going to. We're just not, and the bad decisions that are consistently happening. I don't really see how I can have any belief at this point, and I just don't think that under this ownership, we're going anywhere. I'm going to be honest, other than down, because that's what we've seen. Wayne says, does the transfer window open in June? Good question. I mean, I think it does open in June, doesn't it? Yeah. Or is it July the 1st? Can't remember now, guys. Let me have a look. Just checking it out, guys. Don't worry. It hasn't. Yeah, I don't think it's actually been out. I think it's usually I think it's June the 1st, isn't it? And runs through the summer. Yeah. So yeah, I think it is June 1st. I could be wrong, but to be fair, I think obviously the out of contract players get released officially on the 20 at the end of June, don't they? So does that mean that the window opens after that? No, it doesn't, because you need the window to open in June, because pre-season is in July, isn't it? Mid-July you start. You do start. Well, I think in July, at the start of July, you start to come back to pre-season, don't you? So no, I think it is June. The return of the round between us and Bradford DP. Yeah, honestly, yeah, I saw that. They scored a last-minute goal, didn't they, to get automatic? But yeah, it is one of those, isn't it? It is obviously a West Yorkshire derby returning. We haven't had one of those for a while, have we? So, and to be fair, I haven't actually ever been to. Not that I've missed anything, but I haven't actually ever been to the Bradford Stadium before. Because obviously, Town have never played them. I've been past it, but not actually been. Not that I've missed much, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, it is just another stadium to kind of tick off the list as well. Yeah. Do you want Wilkes? I mean, look, I haven't really even thought about who I want in yet, to be fair, Kaylee, but I do think Wilkes is a good player, to be fair. I do think he has got something about him. I've seen a few highlights of him. And yeah, no, I do like him, but at the moment, I haven't even thought about that, guys, and that's kind of something that we're going to look at, over the next few weeks. Put some players out there, see what people are thinking about who we should go and sign, and that's what we'll do. But look, it has been a great show, to be fair, this evening. Thank you all for your contributions. Content this week, I mean, again, it's very much let's play it by ear kind of situation. Like, I do want to try and be consistent this week, even if it is something every other day rather than every day. Because look, guys, I'm not going to be honest with you. People don't realise how difficult it is to run a channel like practically full time. And yeah, it does take a lot out of you. And yeah, doing stuff every day, it can become quite over. But I do want to keep trying, if there is things that I kind of think about, and just kind of think, I'm going to record about this today, I will do it. But I haven't really got a set schedule for this week, to be fair. I mean, as I say, I'm always open to suggestions, what you want to see on the channel and what you think I should be focusing on now. See, we hope if we get the news this week, there's a director of football being announced, then we'll certainly do a video on that. And then yes, we'll wait for what manager we're going to get as well. And there's lots of stuff to cover over the summer, to be fair. Yeah, I've got lots of different ideas, and we'll obviously put a post out again asking for your suggestions. So do get involved in that if you want, whatever you want to see on the channel. I think I'm going to leave the watch-alongs, guys, like the neutral. I know, to be fair, neutral watch-alongs were all right, but I'm going to leave those now for the rest of the season. To be fair, like I just think I'm just glad that there's a break in football coming up now, because I'm just I think we're all just drained, aren't we? Again, we're just fed up of football. And yeah, so I'm not going to bother do any watch-alongs for this season, but maybe next season it can be more of a regular thing, where we do neutral watch-alongs as well as obviously some of the Huddersfield games as well. So yeah, that's what I will say. But we'll see what happens this week, guys. Because like I said, we'll do it. No, there'll be a few videos out this week. I'm pretty confident of that, but I just don't know what and when yet at this point. So yeah, do stay tuned for more content. It's brilliant live stream, mate, up the town. Brilliant content recently. You should be proud of yourself. Thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream, and thank you for your kind comments. I'm glad you enjoyed the content. Like I said, do try and put content out there that people will like to watch, and you know what I mean, can relate. And we have one subscriber this evening in this show, so big up to you. I don't know who you are, but thank you for subscribing, whoever you are. So yes, we are up to 822 subscribers. So guys, if you haven't already, drop a like, subscribe, and also yes, we are on 11 likes. There is 19 of you in here right now. It is free to like. Drop a like. Let's get to 20 likes. And any final questions you have before we wrap up, let me know. But thank you, Aidan, for that. I appreciate your kind words. When will you return to the Premier League? Jamal says, well, I can't even think about the Premier League at the moment. We couldn't be any further away from that if we tried. As I've already alluded to, we're on this downward spiral. I'm more concerned about League Two than I am the Premier League right now, and that is the way we are going. This football club is going. So, look, I mean, we hope that we can start building and get back to the Championship, but I don't know. It won't be for a good while anyway, mate. So that is what I will say. We're not returning anytime soon. It is 100 years, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair though, guys, we have got to the Premier League, and nobody can take that away from us. And we'll always remember getting to the Premier League. So I do believe that. So yeah, we'll never forget getting to the Premier League. We never thought we'd ever see it. So yeah, we've been there once, but that is something. Michael, the next guy out should be Jake Edwards, Kevin Russell, and some recruitment staff. Cartwright pointed. Yeah, look, I agree, Michael. You spot on. And that is not something I haven't actually mentioned tonight. Look, I agree. Jake Edwards should be leaving the club. I don't care what anybody says. He was part of that board that failed for the past 2 years. He is part of the problem as far as I'm concerned. And I don't trust him because they already said on previous streams, he has lied. The statements he's come out with, he's lied. I think he was the one that talked about the gradual increase in season ticket prices. That was a lie. So, no, I don't trust Jake Edwards either. Russell, look, we know he shouldn't be anywhere near the first team coaching setup. So, yeah, he can go as well. And, like I said, the recruitment staff, Cartwright appointed as well. Yeah, and all of the dross that Cartwright appointed, get them out of the door. And Edwards needs to go. Russell, bye-bye, no sentiments. Just go, not good enough. And, yes, we can't be operating like a best friend football club where best mates get jobs because merely each and every one of their best mates get a job just because of who they are. No, it's not the way you run a club. You have to get the right people for the right job, because otherwise you will go down and down and down. You will go nowhere with incompetent people that shouldn't be anywhere near the club. But yeah, I'm kind of wrong. But yeah, appreciate everyone's comments. I appreciate you being here tonight. Drop a like, subscribe, share. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments if you are watching this on playback. Probably should have said that at the end because people probably lose interest by the time we get to this stage when they watch it back. But maybe I might be wrong. But I do like to see comments after as well, obviously on the video itself. But yeah, we will be back very soon for some more content. Stay tuned, get that notification bell on, and also you can follow me on my socials, HTFTV8 on X and Instagram as well. So drop me a follow on those. I always post when I upload anything, or if there's a live show happening, I always tend to post before. So yeah, and like I said, you want to come on next season for some regular panel shows, then do get in touch, Town fans. I'd love to get a few Town fans on next season with me, and yeah, we can just have a discussion about things, and yeah, be a good extra show to have, I guess. Mike says Ed was still part of the 2-year failure. Nagel needs a new CEO, director of football, and manager soon. I will be behind every other club recruiting. Yeah, no, I agree. Things have to start quickly and now. The director of football should be in the door this week. Then the manager should follow shortly after. And then otherwise, like you said, we'll just be behind and we'll go into next season so underprepared, and it'll be the same shambles that we've seen this season and the season before. So, yeah, things have to happen, and they have to happen quickly. Let's see. Over to the owner, Kevin Nagel, to take the actions, to take the swift actions, because we're waiting for that actions to start taking place. But yes, anyway, have a good rest of your evening, whatever you get up to. I will see you very soon, and like I said, thank you for your support. Thanks for everybody's support, and I shall see you on the next one. Take care, guys, and thanks all for tuning in this evening. Good night.